Hi, good morning. Jason Sen from DayTradeIdeas.com for ntmarkets.com. Friday morning, looking at a daily chart of cable, British pound versus the US dollar. Chosen this one today because we've had a good rally in recent weeks. You can see beginning of the year we headed lower into the middle of March. Quite a big sell-off of about, 15 cents or so. Anyway, we've recovered. We've recovered from 148.30 area up to 156.00 area. It looks like we've come to a halt here with good reason. That's a 50% retracement of that move down from the start of the year. It also coincides with 100-day moving average that you can see at 155.50. So we've just blipped above that, tested the 50% line. Let me just check what that high is. Oh, it's exactly 156 in fact, 156.06 in fact, which is the exact 50% retracement target. And we've come to a halt there. We're now back below that 100-day moving average at 155.49. So I think a bit of profit taking, a little sell-off, possibly back to 154.24, which you can see there is a 38.2% Fibonacci. That coincides quite nicely with the high here at 154.12 that we saw. I think that was not quite the high for April, but certainly the high in the middle of April. So the 154.24, 154.12 area I see as support, and I don't think we're going to sink below that at this stage. Let's see if that support holds, and if it does, probably back up for another test of that high at the 156.0006 area. This is a daily chart of gold, which has been in the news a lot lately after some pretty volatile moves. You can see we looked at this one last week, and you can see that we've had a good bounce back up, and we've been hovering for most of this week really, just below this trend line. If I just highlight it a little bit here, you can see the reason that we've been struggling. We've been holding exactly onto this trend line, in fact, as you can see all week. Today the trend line comes in at 1478.79. Today's high is 1479 in fact. So again, we're struggling at that trend line, getting a bit overbought in the short term and on the daily stochastics. So, we could fail here again. Watch for a sell-off. But the high of this bounce is 1485. So if we break above there, bulls would probably be back in charge again, and we could push on for 1503, 1504. That's this Fibonacci target here. That's big resistance on different time frames, and I don't think we're going to be able to push through that at this stage. 1503, 1504 could mark the high. We're going to be even more overbought at that stage. So watch for some profit taking, and we could even see a swift sell-off again. So big level to watch there on gold. And to finish off, we'll have a quick look at a stock market. I've picked the FTSE today because it's looking pretty strong. You can see we've been in a nice uptrend. The last uptrend started middle of about this time last year, in fact. So we've had a nice year-long uptrend. We sold off in March down to the middle of April, but we held a 100-day moving average. That's the brown line here that you can see, and that was also a nice Fibonacci support, which you can see, 61.84. We've rallied back up. We could continue higher. We need to break above 64.47 if we're going to go higher. And that will take us up to 65.52 possibly, which is the high for this year. Watch that resistance there, a yearly high. But if we get through it, there's not a lot up to a big trend line at 66.66. That trend line, let me see, you can't see it on this chart, but I'm looking at the weekly chart. That trend line goes back to 2000. If you join the peak of 2000 and 2007, you'll see the trend line. 66 it looks like. So that's going to be major resistance if we manage to get that far in the FTSE. Thanks very much. Jason Sen from DayTradeIdeas.com.